We're joined now by Congressman Pete Aguilar of California, a Democratic member of the January 6th committee. Congressman, thank you so much for joining us. Of course, we're expecting that tonight's hearing will focus on what the former president was doing as the attack on the Capitol was unfolding and what you've called his dereliction of duty in those hours. Explain for us what the committee will be trying to show to the American people with today's evidence and testimony.
Good to be with you again, Lindsay. With today's hearing, what we plan on sharing with the American public is exactly what was happening on January 6th. That afternoon, from the time the president left the ellipse after his rally, where he told the crowd and he pointed to the crowd and he mentioned Vice President Mike Pence as being responsible. What happened at that point? 1:10 p.m. until his Rose Garden address at 4:17 p.m. It's 3 hours elapsed. And so what happened during that time? Where was the president at? Who was talking to him? What was he saying? Those are the types of details that we want to get to, because while the Capitol was being overrun and law enforcement officers were providing the last line of defense to save democracy, I think it's important that the American public knows what was going on at the White House.
There have been reports that the committee will show outtakes from video remarks that the former president recorded on January 7th, where he reportedly struggled to condemn the violence of the previous day. Can you confirm that we'll see those clips tonight and why the committee thinks that they're significant?
Well, it's important, the clips that the president made and put on Twitter, the statements and addresses that he made on January 6th and January 7th are both important to his state of mind at the time and what he was willing to say, and more importantly, what he wasn't willing to say. We plan on talking about those addresses on January 6th and 7th this evening at the hearing.
And Trump's former White House counsel, Pat Cipollone, finally agreed to recorded testimony with your committee, which will be seen in tonight's hearing. Give us a sense of what we'll hear from him and if he provided any new information to the committee.
Well, we hear from Pat Cipollone directly some of his comments and thoughts about January 6th, as well as he's not willing to talk about conversations he had with the president, but I do think that it's informative, his testimony that we plan to play this evening.
Do you believe that at this point, or by the conclusion of tonight's hearing, that the committee will have laid out enough evidence to support a criminal case against the former president?
That's not for us to decide. That's for the Department of Justice to level that layer of accountability. Our job and our responsibility with the House resolution that we passed in a bipartisan way is to tell the full and complete story, to tell the truth, to get to the truth on what happened January 6th, talk about the events that led up to it, what caused this, which we feel that we have done, as well as the culmination of the events and the violent attack on the Capitol on January 6th.
So clearly you're not willing to say if the Department of Justice should act, but if they were to act, how quickly, what kind of timeline might this, how long could we expect that to take?
You'd have to talk to federal prosecutors about that. I'm going to stay in my lane to legislate here in D.C. But what I can tell you is that, we feel that we have received a lot of testimony and information, over 1,000 interviews that we have compiled. We feel that we have set the tone for what has to happen to level accountability. And we plan to talk about a lot of those issues in the weeks to come as well.
Where does the committee's work go from here? Should we expect more hearings?
Well, we've talked openly about that possibility. We also know that we have to produce a report. We're going to get started and continue those efforts and that work that is ahead of us. But there continues to be investigative material that we receive. And so to the extent that we need to share that with the American public, we plan to do that. And we're not going to be shy about that. Our responsibility is to find the truth here, and that's what we plan to do.
Congressman Pete Aguilar, always great to have you on the show. Thanks so much for talking with us.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Hi, everyone. George Stephanopoulos here. Thanks for checking out the ABC News YouTube channel. If you'd like to get more videos, show highlights, and watch live event coverage, click on the right over here to subscribe to our channel. And don't forget to download the ABC News app for breaking news alerts. Thanks for watching.